What's up guys, DuArktik with another Marvel Strike Force video, and in this video we are back to talk about the Dark Dimension 7. We're gonna take a look at the best options for you to use in Dark Dimension 7 and get your Mephisto faster. There are paths that you can follow now that are going to greatly help you towards Mephisto, obtaining him faster, and this is going to rely on using the latest and greatest characters, right? And usually this is a good thing because you want to invest on characters that really have their value worth. Because if you're going to invest on trash characters and you put all that gear into them and then they don't provide a lot, it's a bad investment, right? Yeah, sure, you get the Mephisto faster, but you are wasting gold and gear that you take much bigger advantage elsewhere. And having Mephisto early, sure, you're going to get a little bit more power cores, but depending on your arena shard, this might not even be relevant. So we're going to take a look at a different perspective on how to approach this, and I'm going to show you how exactly I organize my character progression, so you can always have one character of each type, and this is going to allow you to gear up your characters much faster. So as always, if you like the information on these videos, make sure you share it with your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe for more Marvel Strike Force content, and make sure you smash that like button like a boss. Okay, so in terms of how you want to progress, how you want to get your characters together, take a look at my screen. This is my map for Dark Dimension 7, and you always want to have tech character, a skill character, a mystic character, a mutant character, and a bio character. As you guys can see, this is exactly how my roster or how my plan is organized, and we have different levels of progress to allow this to happen. Now, this was greatly changed because of Old Man Logan. It was not supposed to be like this, and it's a little bit more disorganized than it should be, but overall this is going to allow you to not only complete the unrestricted nodes, but as soon as you get ready to complete a city, you are also ready to start global, and as soon as you are ready to finish global, you're going to also be able to start cosmic and so on. So this is going to be a huge way of organizing your roster, and once again, you are always getting up one tech, one skill, one mystic, one mutant, and one bio, which will reduce the strain on your gear and on your gold expenditure, right? So you can see we have always like this: one tech, skill, mystic, mutant, bio. The same goes all the way. The third line as well, the third row, fourth row as well. And on the last row, you don't want to get up a mystic character, because that mystic character is going to be Mephisto, right? He's going to be the last character, and you want to make sure that you have gear available for him, so you can take him right away to gear tier 19. Now you can see here the lanes that we are taking. So the first one is city, then we have global, then we have cosmic, then we have legendary, and finally we have mystic. Once again, because we are gearing up the characters all at the same time, one of each type, this is going to allow us to progress much faster. And yes, even that you are gearing up city, global, or global and cosmic at the same time, this is actually a good thing, because once again, you're not going to feel the strain on your gold or gear, because you are gearing up different types, and this takes advantage of your raid rewards and so on. Okay, so let's take a look at the characters that I would recommend for each section, and we're going to use a tier list, because I think people really enjoy these tier lists. And it gives you multiple options. So we have from S tier to F tier, and then we have characters that are low priority on the meta and characters that are just way too expensive for us to consider. So you can see right here we have a bunch of characters that even that they are meta, you should only gear them up to gear tier 18, so they are not viable for gear tier 19 and Dark Dimension. Then at the bottom we have characters with very long cooldowns, or characters that don't do much and just do basic attacks, like spam basic attacks. This happens with Gwenpool, with Nico Minoru, and also with Spider Slayer. Spider-Woman, she's okay, she's nothing special, but you really want to focus on S tier to D tier. Now, as I said, you have paths that you can follow, and here you have two paths. you have the path of the Spider Society and the Hero Spider-Verse characters, and you have the path of the Sinister Six and the villain characters. And that path is going to tell you to focus on 3 characters and 2 additional characters. One of the additional characters should be Robbie Reyes, because Robbie Reyes is very powerful. You could skip Robbie Reyes. I don't really recommend because he is so powerful, but that could be an option. So, or you want to go Sinister Six, or you want to go Spider Society. If you decide to go Sinister Six, you should go with Vulture, Lizard, and Kraven. They are very useful in Alliance Wars, Cosmic Crucible, Blitz, even in Arena sometimes they are useful. And the Spider Society right now, they are a menace on Alliance Wars defense, Cosmic Crucible. They are also necessary for the incursion raids, also for the spotlight raids. So getting them up a little bit higher, because they have that flexibility from raids but also from Alliance Wars, it's definitely characters that you should consider. Now, after that we have Hive Mind. From Hive Mind, only 2 characters really are worth of some investment, which is Gwenom and Red Goblin. Beyond that, I would not invest in any other characters. Kingpin is okay. Mr. Negative is barely okay. Shang-Chi right now is a decent investment, but not the best, right? Because you want to make sure you want to invest your skill gear on your Spider Society characters or Sinister Six characters. But that's pretty much it. We have some options here that people might consider because they are cheap, or Spider-Man 2099, or Ghost Spider, or Spider-Man Big Time. Not super priorities, but they are okay. Miss Marvel Hard Light I would really try to avoid. And if you want to get up a mutant, you'll be way better off with Firestar because she's very cheap. So this is going to be the tier list for City. Once again, make sure you check it out. Invest on the characters that are on S tier to D tier. Even D tier you should kind of skip and just focus on C tier, because it's not like these characters are trash, but investing is going to be way better in the characters above. Okay, so that's the City. Once again, 2 paths, Superior 6, Sinister 6, and the Spider Society. Let's move on to Global, where we also have 2 paths. But as you guys can see, we have way less options on the higher tiers. So unfortunately, we don't have the letters here for some reason. The low meta priority and too expensive is just gigantic, because there are so many global characters right now. The F tier, once again, we have characters that might be good on specific scenarios like PvP game modes like Cosmic Crucible and Alliance Wars, but they have to spam too much their basic. If they are too slow, they are also not relevant. And the enemies just have so much health that many of their effects don't work as well. So this is going to be the case for X-23 and a lot of these characters from the Weapon X or Alpha Flight or Marks for Money, so keep that in mind. Then we have characters that are somewhat decent, but it's what I was mentioning at the beginning of the video. They might not be like a super enjoyable investment, right? We are talking about a Black Widow, we are talking about Captain Carter. Like, they are not trash, but it's really not characters that you want to max out, because that investment will not fully realize, right? Then we have Star Brand, we have Abomination, we have the Pegasus characters over here as well. These are characters that their investment is a lot better, but or the characters are too slow, or we just don't have a good way to pair them up with other characters. Now, at the top, we have Nightcrawler and Spider Weaver. I think right now those are the 2 best characters that you can take. Should you take both? Should you take just one of them? Maybe yes. I would definitely prioritize Nightcrawler because he gives speed bar on spawn. He goes very early. Spider Weaver is still very powerful because she has a stun. The more characters you have with stuns, the better. So I would take both of them if you can afford the additional Mystic Gear, because having these 2 stuns are usually very, very important. Now, after that, we have Forge and the Leader. I would definitely prioritize on the Leader over Forge. Forge is great, but the Leader has just way more potential because he has synergies with all the villains. Forge, he might have higher relevancy next year with the release of Professor X, but right now he's decent, but not... he's okay. He just requires the other X-Men to get up, and you might struggle a little bit to get up all these mutants at the same time. Then we have Gambit, we have the Guardian, we have Captain America, and we have Black Knight. Only gear up Black Knight if you have him at 700 stars or with diamonds. If you don't have him at 700 stars with diamonds or whatever, I would not gear up Black Knight. You would be way better off investing on skill characters for the Hero Spider-Verse on the city section, right? So keep that in mind. If your Black Knight is not big, just keep him. Now, some people out there, the envoys, the trash content creators are saying that you should not invest on Alpha Flight. But that's a big mistake. Like this Alpha Flight team, you're gonna be playing with them for a long time because of the spotlight rates, because of Alliance Wars defense as well. They are very strong on Alliance Wars defense. And they are very strong in the Dark Dimension because all of them start with buffs on spawn. They have all buffs that auto-apply to them when they are at the different health thresholds. And on top of that, all their stats apply outside of the specific game modes. So they're going to get additional health, additional armor, additional drain, additional damage, additional focus, additional resistance in all game modes. And if you take the 3 new characters, they are going to synergize very, very well. So keep that in mind. You could have North Star with the Guardian, with Nightcrawler, and then with Sasquatch. And this would be a good team. The same way like we had the different paths in City, we had the Sinister Sticks, and we had the Spider Society. Here we have 2 paths as well, and the first path is going to be the Alpha Flight. The second path is the Cabal. You have 3 of them. One is Bio, the other is Tech, the other is Mutant, the same way that Alpha Flight is 1 Mutant, 1 Tech, and 1 Bio. And once again, we need this gear diversity in order for us to gear up the characters faster, right? Other people that well out, or they're playing with other people's accounts, or they're playing on the test server, for them it doesn't make a difference because it's not their time, it's not their money that is on the line, so they can give whatever bullshit advice to you, and then you burn yourself because you got shit advice and you decide to listen to it. So be careful, pay attention, think for yourself, use common sense, and make your decision. Now, in terms of the second path, the path with the Cabal, they are useful for Alliance Wars, but they are not amazing. They are extremely useful in Cosmic Crucible, and beyond that, they don't have that much value. So between the Alpha Flight or the Cabal is definitely more fun to use because they pop in Cosmic Crucible, but the Alpha Flight is going to help you in 3 or 4 game modes, while the Cabal is going to be useful only on 1, maybe 2 game modes. Other problem that the Cabal has is that their starts are not fully available in all game modes. So keep this in mind. Once again, overall, it seems like the path of Alpha Flight with the Guardian, North Star, and Sasquatch is better than the path for Cabal. So it's up to you to decide if you want to follow that or not. Beyond that, we have our usual suspects. We have Lady Deathstrike, we have Daken, we have Nemesis, we have Zombie Juggernaut. These are all characters that can be very, very impactful, or that can bring turning wind or stuns or some kind of survivability mechanics that will give you extra progress, and at the same time they have very low cost, like Lady Strike, Zombie Juggernaut, and Daken and Nemesis are just decent options. I would definitely avoid at this point gearing up Nemesis. Like, he's absolutely overpowered for Dark Dimension, but the Dead Sea team right now is garbage, so be careful with that. Only invest on Nemesis if you like the character, because otherwise you are better off focusing elsewhere. Okay, so those are the best recommendations for global. Let's take a look at Cosmic. And Cosmic, once again, we have a ton of characters that are or way too expensive or that they are low priority on the meta. And unfortunately, this is something that it has been for a long time. We don't have many options for Cosmic, so you really have to just take the L and use what you have available, right? Now, in the past, Infinity Watch was a good investment for Cosmic. At this point in time, with so many counters against Infinity Watch, I would really not focus on them. I would try as much as possible to avoid them. And once again, this is why I use this method of gearing up characters that allows you to gear up different sections at the same time. Once again, focusing on one tech, one skill, one mystic, one mutant, and one bio to allow you to gear up all the lanes at the same time. without causing some kind of bottleneck on your gear. Now, in terms of the best characters, of course, you're gonna have Kang and Val. Photon right now, the value for Photon has increased because now people are using her on offense, and now people realize that she is actually a very good character when you are controlling her. So definitely invest on Photon, and then you have the optional characters that you just have to take the L because you just don't have other options. So you have Cosmic Ghost Rider, we have Star-Lord, we have the Eternals, we have Infinity War Thor, we have the Battery Bill, we have the Thanos, and that's pretty much it. Like, the Noir team is garbage, Void Knight is nothing special in Dark Dimension, the Asgardians are just okayish, Thanos on his own is okayish, the other Black Order members, they are just way too expensive, and having them all is legendary. But you can get up the Eternals. Should you get up the Eternals, they are going to be okayish. It's going to be that sunk cost fallacy. They are okay. Getting them up a little bit more will be better, but it's not like something amazing. So what I'm going to do is to just invest on Val, Kang, Photon, Cosmic Ghost Rider, and Star-Lord Annihilation. And that's it. You just have to take the L. Because yeah, these are the new characters, and I don't know, it's just what we have. Unfortunately, we don't have good cosmic options available, but I would definitely stay away from the Infinity Watch at this point in time, because we have so many counters nowadays that I don't think it's just worth it anymore. Now we're gonna take a look at the legendary section, and for legendary we have out of the meta characters, we have expensive characters. These legendary characters are super expensive. Even that some of them got reworks recently, because they are so expensive, you should definitely avoid them and focus on the ones that are good and also cheaper. So we have Old Man Logan, Black Cat, Green Goblin, Nova, Rogue, or Omega Red. At this point in time, I would rather invest on Rogue than Omega Red. Then Morgan Le Fay. Then you could go back to Omega Red if you want. Phoenix, Red Hulk. Maybe prioritize Red Hulk over Phoenix, but Red Hulk on his own is not doing much, so keep that in mind, because he just doesn't have enough health. And then we have Archangel. So once again, gear up C tier and above, because everything beyond that is just kind of garbage nowadays. And finally, we have the Mythical lane, and the Mythical lane, you have 5 options, you only need 4 characters. I would definitely skip Doctor Doom, because we have this problem. If Doctor Doom is too big, he is not reliable, and I'm just skipping investing on Doctor Doom entirely. I'm going for Apocalypse, Skrull, Kestrel, and Dormammu, and then we are going to get up Mephisto, because once again we are skipping a Mystic character, and keep all the gear for Mephisto. So these are my recommendations for Dark Dimension right now. We'll try to update these every month. The problem is that the website that I use for these, they don't allow to save the files anymore, so you have to redo this every day, but it's okay. Now we have the main frame of everything, so you just have to pair up the characters and just update according with how the meta flows. And once again, make sure you are getting up 1 tech, 1 skill, 1 mystic, 1 mutant, and 1 bio character, just to make sure that you don't suffer from any kinds of bottlenecks when it comes to origin gear, mini uniques, and also centerpiece uniques. And if you're using characters from the same type of centerpiece unique, do like me and use it every 3 sections, right? So the first one, Miasma, but then the next one is 3 lanes after, so you can see Cosmic Ghost Rider 3 lanes after, and then the Dormammu, you can get him up after or the next one on the 5th lane, just to make sure that you have enough spacing in between to get all those centerpiece uniques, so you can save a little bit of gold. So yeah guys, that's how you get up for Dark Dimension 7, how you get Mephisto faster, and make sure you follow those paths that we mentioned, Alpha Flight, Sinister Six, Cabal, or Spider Society, in order for you to get the best teams for all the game modes, and at the same time have the easiest time in Dark Dimension 7. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you smash that like button, and if you found the video helpful, make sure you share it with your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe for more Mouse Life Force content, and I'll catch you guys later.